Good morning everyone and welcome to Croydon. My name is Gavin Barwell and for the last 5 years I've had the best job in the world, representing the place that I've lived my entire life in Parliament. Anyone who knows me will know how passionate I am about this town, its potential, the incredible talent of our young people. For most of my adult life, Croydon, like many parts of outer London, has been in relative decline. Under this government, that decline is reversing. You can see the cranes up all over the town centre. If we stick with the policies that are working, a bright future lies ahead. But who will get to share in that future? Croydon is one of the most diverse places in the country. People from all over the world have chosen to make my hometown their hometown. It's one of the things I love about this place. Over the last 5 years, I've had countless conversations with voters from our diverse communities, and they say to me, we like the work that you're doing as an MP. But what about the Conservative Party nationally? Is it on our side? Well, today, I am delighted to welcome the Prime Minister to Croydon to answer that question with an emphatic yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister.
Thank you, Gavin, and thank you everyone for coming. And before I answer that question with an emphatic yes, let me say a word about Gavin. Gavin is someone who gets things done. Think of his record in the last 5 years. £20 million for the A&E here in Croydon, Gavin gets it. Making sure we change the law so that it's illegal to drink drive under the influence of drugs, Gavin gets it. Making sure we get money for Croydon after the riots and regeneration, Gavin gets it. I've never seen anyone more proud to represent his hometown in Parliament. You grew up here, you went to school here, you love it here, and your enthusiasm comes across in everything you do. So please, send Gavin back to Parliament for another 5 years. Now we're in London, one of the greatest cities on earth. And let me tell you one of the greatest facts from the last 5 years, something I'm so proud of. The one thing I hope you remember when you're standing in that polling booth or filling in your postal ballot, even now or in 2 weeks' time, the fact is this: 500,000 jobs created in this city since 2010. That is more than the whole of Scandinavia put together. That is 500,000 more people going home, telling their mother, their partner, their mates that they've got that job. They're deciding how to spend that new pay packet, knowing that they won't be stuck at home. They'll be out there working hard and bringing home a wage. And you know why this matters so much? It comes back to this word, opportunity. The word is why I'm a Conservative. It's why I'm here. I want this to be an opportunity country, where no matter who you are or where you're from, whether you're black, white, Asian or mixed race, whether you're from the inner city or the rural heartlands, I want to know you can make the most of your talents. And today I want to talk about opportunity in its broadest sense. When I think of all the things that make me proud to be British, I think of the armed forces I've seen keep us safe overseas, the nurses and doctors looking after us at home, the entrepreneurs who build something from nothing, the amazing history we have in our country, standing up to Hitler, or our sense of humour, our quirks, our eccentricities. One of the things that makes me the most proud to be British is the fact that we are the most successful multiracial democracy on the planet. One of the defining questions of the 21st century, is how do we live together? Now, I'm not saying that we have solved every problem or tackled every prejudice, we haven't. But we've got a good case when we answer that question, how do we live together, of answering it by saying, like us. We're a shining example of a country where multiple identities work. A country where you can be Welsh and Hindu and British, Northern Irish and Jewish and British, where you can wear a kilt and a turban, where you can wear a hijab covered in poppies, where you can support Man United, the Windies and Team GB all at the same time. Of course, I'd rather you supported West Ham. But by and large, this is a country where people of all faiths, all colours, creeds and backgrounds can live together in one place. And during this election campaign, let's take a moment to remember that and to celebrate it. But to be a truly successful multiracial democracy, this isn't just about living together, it's about thriving together. Now, we've got a country where in one generation you can make it to the top. Not in every walk of life, and that's what we should aim for, but you can make it to the top. I look around the cabinet table, and I see Sajid Javid. His dad came here from Pakistan 40 years ago as a bus driver, and now his son sits at the top decision-making table in the country. I look around Britain, and I see so many others. British Indians, British Iranians, British Ugandan Asians, British Afro-Caribbeans. Not long ago, they or their parents or grandparents might have faced unimaginable persecution. Today, their home is Britain, and they're excelling. Now, as I've said, I'm not saying we have solved all the problems. Yes, there are people sitting around the cabinet table, but I want to see them in our courts. I want to see them in our police force. I want to see them in our army. I want to see them in the Navy. I want to see them at the top of every profession. We've shown we can do it, and that is what we need to do in the future. So I want more people to reach the top, and that starts with education. You may have heard me going on about free schools and academies, and wonder, what does that jargon actually mean? Well, it's simple. It means a better chance for children in urban areas like this, where schools are turning lives around. Think of the Harris Academy, South Norwood, or Oasis Shirley Park, both oversubscribed, both giving children the best start in life. Since our reforms, the number of children in Croydon going to a school classed as either good or outstanding has increased by nearly 30%. So we'll go on expanding those free schools in the next 5 years, opening 500 new ones. Like the Avanti Trust's new Hindu Ethos School, and Waddington Grammar's new secondary school, continuing to transform the life chances of children from every background and every walk of life. Take our action on Stop and Search, a source of such frustration and resentment amongst Britain's black and Asian communities. When we came to office, Theresa May saw the facts and she said, this is not good enough. Today, stop and searches by the Met have now fallen by 43%. And around the country, practices are really improving. The numbers of people being stopped and not arrested has plummeted, meaning this power is now being targeted much more effectively. And as Theresa has made clear, if this progress doesn't continue, we will go further and we will change the law. Because in modern Britain, no one should be stopped by the police simply because of the colour of their skin. It's not acceptable. These are strong and solid measures, and we can be proud of them. And over the next 5 years, I want us to set our sights even higher. Our mission is to make sure that as our economy recovers, people from every community share in that prosperity, and we spread it far and wide. Because after all, it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, we all want the same thing. We want a good job, a great education, the chance to get on, the chance to make it. Now, when it comes to our key commitments to the British people for the next 5 years, there are many things that will help people right here in this hall. Tax cuts for millions, with everyone earning less than £12,500 taken out of income tax altogether. A new law, so we have a tax-free minimum wage. The right to buy for housing association tenants, so more people can own their own home. 30 hours of free childcare for working parents of 3 and 4-year-olds. A fully funded NHS that's there for you 7 days a week, every day of the year. But there are more specific things we can do to make sure we spread opportunity to every community in our country. So today I'm setting us some new ambitions for the next 5 years, specifically for people from black and minority ethnic communities. I call it my 2020 vision. Ambitious but realistic aspirations to help people from all our communities really thrive. Now that vision starts with work. Now we've already created 2 million more jobs this Parliament. That's 1,000 for every single day we've been in government. And within that, the number of people from black and minority ethnic communities in work has increased by 20% since 2010. That is an extra 570,000 people going out every day and bringing home a wage. So here's the goal. We're going to do it again. We've said we'll create 2 million more jobs in the next Parliament. And today I set this ambition, by 2020, 20% more black and ethnic minority people in employment. That means 660,000 more people with a job. How will we do it? By continuing to back business, continuing to reform welfare so we make work pay. And yes, in Croydon, you'll have the support of Gavin, getting behind things like the next Westfield shopping centre, which will create 5,000 more jobs and help transform Croydon town centre so even more firms relocate here. They're spreading opportunity everywhere, backing business to the hill, achieving full employment, only with the Conservatives. So second, apprenticeships. 2 million people have started an apprenticeship in the last Parliament, and 190,000 of those have been taken up by black, Asian and mixed race people. In the next Parliament, we're going to create another 3 million apprenticeships. And today I set this ambition. By 2020, 20% more of them will be started by black and ethnic minority young people, meaning 300,000 more apprenticeships in the next 5 years. We're going to fund that by reducing the benefits cap from 26,000 to 23,000. And we're going to spread the word about these great apprenticeships, making sure we really get the message across in our schools, colleges and workplaces. Why? Because I want people from every background to be a part of this jobs revolution, so not an ounce of talent in our country goes to waste. My third ambition is on universities. There should be absolutely no barrier, whether it is financial or cultural, to someone going on to higher education. Now, people said that reforming student finance would stop people from doing that. In fact, they were wrong. Last year, a record number of people headed off for Freshers' Week, and the number of Asian, black and mixed race students increased to its highest level ever in our country. That is something to be proud of. Now, in the next 5 years, I want us to go further, with an ambition for 20% more students from diverse backgrounds in university. That's 19,000 more students with the Conservatives. How will we do this? Well, because of a big decision that we've made, to lift the cap on university places, allowing them to expand and take in the talent from every part of Britain. No cap on university numbers under the Conservatives. With the Conservatives, if you've got the grades, if you've got the ambition, if you've got the work ethic, our message is clear. We will back you every step of the way. Now, four, I want to see more black and ethnic minority entrepreneurs. Startup loans are something we introduced to give mentoring and funding to people setting up their own business. I've held loads of receptions in number 10 Downing Street, and some of the favourite ones I've had when people who set up their businesses under this government with a startup loan have come to Downing Street to show me their business. And the pride you see in people's faces. They've got go. They've got out of their workplace or up on employment into starting up their own business. They've taken people on. They're creating livelihoods and jobs, and they're so proud of the products and the produce that they're making. And the percentage that are coming from black and minority ethnic backgrounds really is encouraging, as I'll show you in a minute. This taps into something really special in our country, that great British entrepreneurial spirit. The spirit that turns someone from dreamer to inventor, that takes them from their parents' garage right to the border. Now, remember, around 14% of our population is black or ethnic minority. But start-up loans in these communities are actually running at 25%. Now, we've said we're going to treble the programme to 75,000 loans, and if we keep take-up roughly at the current rate, we can set this ambition. By 2020, we'll see 20,000 people from diverse backgrounds striking out on their own, following their dreams, and showing that this really is an opportunity country. Now finally, I want to see an increase in black and ethnic minority representation in the police and in our armed forces. These people keep us safe at home and abroad. They do a great job. But think how great these organisations could be if they made the most of all the talent in our country, not just some of the talent in our country. That's the challenge for us. Now, representation is already on the up, slowly and steadily. In the armed forces by 4.5%, in the police by 13%. But when the numbers have been so low in the past, we're always playing catch-up. General Sir Nick Carter, the new head of the army, has said recently that black and ethnic minority recruitment in our armed forces is nowhere near it needs to be, and he's right. Bernard Hogan Howe, the Commissioner of the Met, has called for big improvements in the recruitment of officers in London, and he's right too. That's why I want us to have big aspirations when it comes to new recruits. We should be pushing for up to 20% of new recruits in the police and the army to come from a black or ethnic minority background. That's the sort of level we need to be getting to if we're really going to catch up in the long term. Yes, there is a long way to go, but we can get there by reaching out to different groups and making these careers more accessible. By setting up, as we are, cadet units in hundreds of state schools around our country. By saying to the young girl in Croydon, you love your country, you can defend it overseas. Saying to the teenage boy, you care about keeping your family safe, you can protect our streets. There's a new scheme in London, Police Now, that is offering top graduates a route into policing. 16% of their recruits are from black and ethnic minority backgrounds, compared to 5% nationally. So I say let's take inspiration from them, and let's have police forces and armed forces that truly reflect our diverse country in Britain today. That's the goal and that's the ambition, and we must do it. Now, people will rightly ask, how can you set ambitions for other organisations but not your own? And the answer is we are. I'm talking here about the Conservative Party. In the last Parliament, we increased our number of black and Asian MPs from 2 to 11. Now that's not enough, but that is good progress. At this election, there is actually one party fielding more black and ethnic minority candidates than any other political party, and I'm proud to say that is us, the Conservatives. And crucially, many of these are in seats that the party already holds. This is not some exercise in selecting people for seats which, however hard we fight, we're not going to win. In 18%, almost 1 in 5 of retirement seats, that's where a sitting Conservative MP is standing down, seats that we have, as it were, a very good chance of keeping, we have black, Asian or minority ethnic candidates. But I think we can go further. And so in the next election, 2020, I want that to reach 20% of those retirement seats. And why not? We are the first party to have a female Prime Minister. We were the party of the first Jewish Prime Minister. And I know one day we're going to be the party of the first black or Asian Prime Minister. It might even be someone right here in this room, and I look forward to that day in our country. So those are my ambitions. By 2020, 20% more jobs, 20% more students, a 20% increase in apprenticeship take-up, 20,000 start-up loans for new businesses, 20% of new recruits in the police, and on our way to 20% in the army too. And for my own party, 20% of candidates in retirement seats. That is my 2020 vision. And it comes back to a clear belief that Britain will only be the best it can be if its people are all they can be. I want to see Asian startups setting the stock market alight. I want to see Afro-Caribbean students not just getting BAs, but their masters and PhDs. British-Chinese apprentices making the trains, planes and spacecraft of the future. And when I hear the phrase detective sergeant, or frankly, chief constable, I want to hear it followed by a British Nigerian or British Bangladeshi or British Asian name. That's what we need to see in our country. And when I hear the right honourable, I want to hear it come before a British Bangladeshi name. I want us to become the opportunity country of the world, where you can go as far as your talents will take you. Now all that depends on sticking with our long-term economic plan, the plan that's giving us the strong foundations on which we can build a brighter future. And continuing with that plan centres on one thing: the people in Croydon getting in that polling booth in 12 days' time and returning a fantastic Member of Parliament, Gavin Barwell, and voting Conservative so everyone can have a country where we get on in life.